Good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. It is me, Angie Atkinson, and while I'm waiting for my chat to pop up, let me just remind you that on this channel, I offer free daily video coaching to help you discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse and toxic relationships. I like to call it toxic relationship rehab. Does that sound good to you? If it does, hit that subscribe button and let's get going. So, it has been one interesting day already. My husband, good morning, Vinyl. My husband has gone to the urgent care center to learn that he has, what's it called? It's called bronchitis. Unfortunate for him. But on the positive side, he will now have medicine and he will do better and get healthier again, which is always good stuff. Let me see who we have here. Vinyl says, good morning, good morning, good morning. Shannon O'Brien in the house says, hello, fellow survivors. TGIF, ain't it though? Good morning, Miss Shannon. Vinyl has all kinds of hands up for us. And welcome to our little tribe, Vinyl. I'm glad to see you here. My 2 cents in the house says, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Malta is here, my friend Malta, who is amazing chat admin, and I'm grateful for every single day. Good morning, Malta. Andrea Christensen in the house. Hey, girl. Hey. Colleen Brosnan. Hey, Colleen. I missed you. How are you? And let's see. Ricky Hess in the house. Hey, Ricky. How you doing? D's nuts. How you doing? Says Angie is so beautiful. Well, thank you so much. Sandra Marino is here. Hey, Sandra. How you doing? Nice to see you today. Muffy Lewandowski. Hey, girl. Hey. She said, good morning, guys. I'm missing everyone, hiding in the country with my coffee. You guys, I still have coffee left in my cup today. Hmm. Do you have your coffee? Let's see here. Makita Showers is here, says hi. Rosa Ray says good morning. Good morning, Miss Rosa and Miss Makita. And Malta says good morning to myself and everybody. Muffy says sending prayers for your hubby. Pray he feels better soon. Yes, I'm sure he will. He's a pretty healthy man for his age and whatnot. He's only 45. He's not that old. Shannon O'Brien says, here's the rub. I know we did the right thing. If we had talked to her a fair chance, she would have hurt herself. Yep. But it is so isolating. I think people may just not know what to say. Well, that certainly is probably the truth. Let me turn my sound down on my phone here. That is certainly probably the truth. Um, and, you know, people don't know what to say. People don't understand the situation because it's beyond what they, could possibly, they just don't, there aren't a lot of people that are like your mother. I mean, they say like 6% of the population or something. You know what I'm saying? So it's not real significant. Anyway, but it's not always enough to make the general public understand, which is part of the reason that we do what we do here because, we all found each other this way, right? Yeah. Lorian Hibbs in the house. Hello, Lorian. How are you? And Ricky says, I'm sorry, your husband's sick. He's all right. He'll be okay. Um, he basically the cold that I had, he caught it and manifested it a little differently. So he's gonna be okay. It's terrible for him, but on the plus side, we do have good health insurance and we're grateful for that, and we have good doctors and we're grateful for that. So Narga says to say after appointment, go to college, pick up courses for spring semester. Oh, today after appointment. That is awesome. She says, and then run errands, cook Indian dal, lentils, curry. Ooh. Then listen to my body who has been screaming for an Epsom salt soak. Yeah, that is good stuff, Nargis, and I bet you could really use it. I love Indian food. Did I tell you that yesterday? I know I did. I need to come hang out with Nargis and learn how to cook it better. Casey Forgets says waking up, feeling like I may need to put a restraining order on someone who hits me. Who knows what else they're capable of? Yeah, I think that's a very intelligent idea because if someone does physically strike out at you, there's certainly no limit to the amount of crap they're willing to, do. You can't trust them if they're willing to go that far. Muffy Lewandowski says, good morning, Malta. Wait a minute, I lost my spot. Okay, here we go. Embrace INTJ says, divorce final last Thursday. Got a call yesterday that NARC wants to introduce son to a new supplier. Are you freaking kidding me? I hope that doesn't happen. That's so unfair to your son and even to you. But I mean, at this point, you're probably glad it's just not you, but it certainly isn't really, in my opinion. Okay, how old is your son? I embrace. Malta says, good morning, Colleen. And Bonnie says, good morning, Angie. Glad he is taking care now. It could have turned into pneumonia. Actually, we kind of thought he had pneumonia for a minute. Um, Knock on wood, I haven't, let me see, oh, no, wood. I haven't had pneumonia in a while, but I have had it several times in my life and it is miserable. I always felt like I was going to die, but I didn't die. Knock on wood again. Um, but I look at it like this, I try to stay focused on the healthy factor. We're relatively healthy given all various circumstances. So Malta says, hi, Muffy. Oh, wait. Nargis has cross stitch in hand and present. Oh, I love your cross stitch. She sent me some pictures of it. She's very good. I used to try to do that when I was younger, but I'm not very good. Malta says, hey, Muffy. Good to see you. Good morning. Sandra Marina says she's well. Thank you. Good, good. Vinyl says, LOL at these nuts. Yes, that was a really funny one. Um, Colleen says, good morning, Malta. And Renee PM is back. Hey, Renee, welcome back. She says, good morning, everyone. Angie, can a cupcake fool you with tears? Oh, yes. He states, I have not supported him and have brought him to shaking and crying on his way to work. Okay. So that is almost like a projection thing. They expect you to give them all the supply that they require from you at all times. And if you can't do that, then of course you're the bad guy. I do not believe that that is your responsibility. And if you have brought him to crying and shaking on his way to work, it's because he is not getting the supply that he needs. It's really, really not about you particularly. Does that make sense? Um, let's see. Vinyl says, I always smile here. Hello, survivors. So happy to hear that, Vinyl. Um, Lanny Slow is here. Hey, girl. Hey. She says, good to be here again. Hello, Angie and the Survivor tribe. I hope you were all having a blessed morning. Yes, indeed, my friend. And my 2 cents says, I couldn't even take the dog out to potty this morning for fear my narc was outside and he was blowing up my phone with texts. I'm so tired. You know, do you have a restraining order? I can't remember if you told me that you did, but are you willing to get one if you haven't? Because that's that's stalking. That's illegal. You shouldn't be scared to go outside your house to take your dog out to go pee. You know? Are you getting a restraining order? Nancy Garcia says, can they change? My husband, who I was convinced is a narcissist, is now trying and working real hard in our relationship and even in our communication. I'm scared thinking it's his new move. Nancy, I would like to tell you that they can change. I believe that there is a possibility that they could change, but I think they would require a lot of therapy and I think they would have to admit what they are. I think they would have to be prepared to dig deep, find their core wound, and heal it. And I have seen many, many, many narcissists say they were changing, create behavioral change in themselves for short times, and then go right back to being their usual selves when they once they thought they had everything back in place the way they wanted it. So can they change? Maybe. Have I ever seen it happen permanently? No. I'm sorry. But that doesn't mean your husband is not possibly going to change. It is possible, it is possible, I guess. I just have never personally seen it or heard about it in any real way. Do you have other questions for me on that? Maura DeLuca is here. Hey, beautiful. How you doing? She says, happy Friday, everyone. I'm on my way to work. Wish me luck in dealing with my new manager who is very rigid. Very rigid. Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, you know what? Just take a look at what this manager wants from you and make sure that you give them that. If it's a narcissist, the best thing you can do is, let them be in charge, let them think they're the boss of everybody, et cetera, et cetera. It's a start. Doesn't always solve it, but it's a start. Uh, Nargis says, as soon as I saw you go live, I sent a good morning text. I guess it did not go through. Oh, I do not know. Do you mean to me, Nargis? Debbie Lee says, I'm sorry I'm confusing you. We have not been talking, me and my partner, for 1 month, 2 weeks, no contact. She used to post things on Facebook about another woman as they're hot. Oh, such as they're hot, and now she's not posting. Are you worried about her? What is the question that you have for me? Help me understand. Debbie. Rick Mash says, good morning, all. Hey, Rick, how you doing, honey? He says, Angie, why can they bring up little things that happened years ago, but if I bring up something that happened last week, I get told not to quit bringing up the past and throwing it in her face. Oh, honey, because that's narcissists have double standards. That's common. And I know yours was labeled BPD officially, right? But Yeah, absolutely. Narcissists have double standards. They have no um, ability to take responsibility for anything. I guess my husband made it back from the doctor. I hear him coughing out there. So that's something to consider as well. Uh, Boy, he sounds terrible. Um, yeah, that you know what I would do with things like that is, first of all, I would not try to argue with her in this case, Rick, because she is just going to continue that behavior. And so whenever she does something that's outrageous or she says mean things to you, I would literally remove her supply. Okay, so take yourself and your daughter and go somewhere else where she's not during the times that she's behaving that way, or just stand up and move away from her. Just ignore her, gray rock her when she starts that behavior. Because essentially, in so many ways, you can almost train them to not treat you that way simply by not giving their behavior any attention at all when it's negative. They don't like that. They want you to give them attention. And so if you refuse to give them attention when the behavior is negative, and then you give them plenty of attention when the behavior is positive, pretty soon they learn that they need to treat you with a certain amount of positivity in order to get a response from you. And the response is exactly what they're looking for. So respond in a dramatic, positive way if she acts, positively. And if she acts negatively, then ignore, 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 and literally shut her down. That's what has worked in my situations in the past. Malta says, I have my coffee. Coffee level 90%. Hey, Malta. Good, good. Good, good. Debbie Lee says nothing about anything anymore. No likes, dislikes, nothing bad about me, nothing. Do you think that she's missing or something? Have you heard about her being around, or what's the deal, Debbie? Let me know. Faith says, "Hey everyone, sorry I've been missing out this week. Cupcake is hoovering big time." So Faith, are you staying strong? Let me know. I know that's hard when they hoover. It's really tempting and very difficult. Breon Garner is here with his beautiful face. He says, Happy Friday. Happy Friday, my friend. How are you? And Mr. Myers here. Hey, Mr. Myers says, Hi, Angie. Hugs from the London survivor. Moving out of the Nar's house. Your help through your videos have been crucial. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here, and I wish you the very best as you move forward. And I hope you keep coming back to be with us in the mornings and getting through this. We're here for you. Tommy D says, Good morning, Queen Bee and Thrivers. Happy Friday to all yins. By the way, Mr. Meyer, if you want to go to queenbeing.com/plan, PLAN, there are some documents there that you can download for free. One is a checklist and one is like a workbook, but they'll help you make sure you don't forget anything or miss anything as you're moving forward out of the Nerk's house. Renee PM says, He has verbally abused me and now physically after drinking. Said I could have avoided all of this had I only cared about his feelings and showed him compassion. Renee, will you please make sure you leave? Are you leaving? What's happening? I think you told me yesterday you had a plan, but the physical abuse, you could have called the police and had him removed from your home. Could you consider doing that? You can't be blamed for this in any way. Even if you were horrible to him, he doesn't have a right to hate you ever, 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 ever. Maybe if you hit him first, but that's a maybe in my opinion. Um, yeah. There's never a situation where it's okay to hit another person. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Let's see. I lost my place. I'm just finding it again. It'll just take a moment. Sometimes the chat just goes all the way to the bottom and then I have to scroll back up. Okay. Tommy D. Okay. Renee Malta says, Happy Friday, Brianna, and good morning. Adrian's here. She says, Good morning, Angie, Malta, and everyone. Good morning, Miss Adrian. How are you? And Malta says, Good morning, Tommy D. Wally says, Tomorrow I will do some tax for federal government jobs. Cool. Do you like you mean like applications? That could be a good job. I mean, government jobs have usually great insurance and good hours and stuff like that. And I think once you get in there, they can't throw you out, at least according to what I see in my local DMV office. Or not DMV, but local tax office. Woo, terrible. People are rude and they don't fire them. It's crazy. Anyway, Juliana Smith is here. Hey girl, how you doing? She says, good morning, everybody. It's foggy and gloomy here and my baby boy is sick. I'm so sorry to hear it, honey. I send positive healing energy your way and your baby boy's way. It is a little bit bright over here, actually. It's not bad at all. Let's see here. Nargis says, I love black with flower print, and you're wearing one. I have many of those too. Oh, girl, me too. I have so many of them. I have all different shapes and sizes of, different designs, and I like the flower with the black print. It's in right now too, kind of, I think. So that's handy dandy. Debbie Lee says she was bragging the other day of meeting 50 new people, but yet I go on her page and she doesn't even really talk to them, probably just for me to see and be jealous. Probably true, Debbie. Yeah. They and maybe the reason that she stopped posting is because you weren't reacting, which in which case proves my point. I don't know. Suzanne Arena says, hello, I hope your husband gets well soon. Thank you, Suzanne, and I'm sure he will. He went to the doctor and got some medicine, so that should help. And Madeline says, hey, Madeline, how you doing, honey? She says, good morning, Miss Angie Rumies. And Rumi's faulty thinking is refusing to abandon a narc relationship, although so unrewarding because you've already invested so much in it. That is very profound and so, so true. Aw, Juliana Smith says, we're just going to snuggle and hibernate today. Hey, you know what? Sometimes those are the best days. I love the snuggle and hibernation days. Today, I almost thought about doing that myself because my whole family now is home. My husband's sick and my kids are out of school for teacher meetings or something. So interesting. Um, Malta says, Faith, I'm glad you could join us this morning. Welcome and good morning. And hello to Madeline Gutierrez and good morning. Debbie Lee says, I think you keep it 100. I really appreciate all your videos. They've been very uplifting and very helpful to get through this rough narcissist abuse. Thank you. I'm so glad that they're helpful for you, Debbie Lee. Big hugs and love to you, my friend. Lady Slow says, I like that, Tommy D. Thrivers. Yes, indeed, my friend. Sarah is here. Hey, Sarah. She says, hey, good morning, Angie and y'all. Good morning. Nargis says, what a lovely day. What a lovely way to spend my Friday. Yes, it is my day. Thank God my kids are all independent and doing great. I have so much alone time now. Hey, you know what? I got to tell you, I enjoy my alone time very much. And I think we all, as empaths, I think we all need a little bit of it at least every single day. I require at least an hour if possible. Shannon O'Brien says, Renee, cupcakes love to use the tears on us, don't they? She says, I think they are feeling sad, but it's sad for themselves. I've experienced this. That's exactly right. They do have emotions, but they're all about themselves. They don't have empathy ever. It's pretty messed up. Yeah. Let's see here. Embrace INTJ says he's 12. Yeah, I don't think that's fair to your 12-year-old. That's going to really mess with his head. Do you have a say-so in this at all? Can you stop it from happening? I just think it's so early. I mean, what? How long has he been dating this person if you guys just got divorced? I don't know. Cindy Crawford is here with her real name. Hey, Cindy, how you doing? I'm so glad to see you here again today. Kristen Mills is in the house. Hello, Kristen. And Faith C says, thanks, Malta. Wally says, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Wally. How you doing? Colleen Brosnan says, good morning, Cindy. And Shannon O'Brien says, I have experiences being on the receiving end of the pity party tears. Oh, girl, so do I. I think we all can acknowledge or could imagine at the very least if we haven't seen it ourselves. There are the crying narcissists. I should do a video about that. And a lot of them are the female narcissists, not always, but a lot of them are. But the male narcissists will do it too, especially when they get desperate. Yeah. Malta says, good morning, Kristen, Cindy, Wally, Sarah. And Andrea Christensen says, I got so tired of listening to him talk hours and hours. I just started randomly saying squirrel or anything that had nothing to do with his monologue. She said it stopped him for a moment. Funny. That is funny. That's hilarious, actually. Yeah. Adrian says, I'm sorry to hear your son is sick, Juliana. Rosa Ray says, I need help. My ex and I dated 7 years. He's asked me to marry him a dozen times, but each time it was like a threat. I loved him. I work with him. 2 months ago, we split again, and now he is married. Yeah, I remember. Did you tell me this yesterday by chance? I remember that, and I guess my question is, are you struggling with it? Is that, which would be understandable and devastating, but What is your question exactly? Tell me. Um, Cindy Crawford says, "Good morning, Malta and Colleen." Nargis says, "Angie, last night I thought, Nargis, you have been feeling lonely and sad about it, but after chatting with Angie today, you have a good sisterly friend now who talks to you 5 days a week, not lonely now." I love that, Nargis, and I'm so, so glad to hear it. It is a beautiful thing, my friend, and I'm glad that you're here with me today and every day. Yes, indeed. Freedom Lee is here. She says, "TGIF, y'all. So happy you're here, Angie and family. My coffee maker broke yesterday." Oh my God, that's terrible. We have to get a new one this weekend. You know what? When my coffee maker breaks, I literally go out, I stop whatever I'm doing and go out and get it if I can because holy crap, I can't handle. And I always like to get the what's it called? The Bun coffee maker. It's a little bit more expensive, but it makes a whole pot of coffee in like 3 minutes and it's quite tasty. Yes. Let's see here. Tommy D says, "I pity my narc these days when I think of her. You know what I miss? The idealization I created of the wonderful person she could have been had she not bowed down to the demonic. What a wasted life." I feel you. I think we can all relate to that one. Ricky Hess says, "My ex narc lied and introduced my two younger kids to his new supply before our divorce was final and made the kids keep a secret from me. That's not acceptable. That's outrageous. I hope that you brought that up in court if you knew it. That's horrible. I don't think that's fair, and your kids should never have to keep a secret from their parent. I'm so sorry." Sarah says, "Good morning, Malta. So good to be here. How have you been?" Mary Kayan is back. Hey, Mary, how you doing? She says, "Good morning, Angie and everyone. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, honey. How you doing?" Malta says, "Freedom Lee, sorry to hear it. Here you go. He sent you a cup of coffee." Shannon O'Brien says, "Andrea Christensen, I will sometimes say, I hear yams are on sale at Safeway." Nice. Madeline Gutierrez says, "Faulty thinking, believing your toxic narc is somehow different from the other toxic individuals, although they meet most or all of the criteria of a narc." Yep, yep, absolutely the truth. Cheryl Lawson says, "Good morning, Angie. Thank you for your help." My pleasure, Cheryl. How are you? Welcome to our little morning chats. I hope you're feeling well today. I know it's welcome back. I'm sorry. Eddie Knows says, "Good morning, Angie." Hey, Eddie, how you doing? Hello, everybody. TGIF. Yes, indeed. Casey Forgets says, "Breakfast, baby steps, breakfast, coffee, work, yoga. Just doing what I need to right now, not letting it get me down." I'm so proud of you, honey. That's the best thing you can do. Breakfast, coffee, work, and yoga, that's perfect. I mean, that's perfect. Keep going. You know, please consider a restraining order if you are worried about further physical abuse as well. Shannon O'Brien says, "Hello, Eddie." And Malta says, "I'm well, Sarah. And how are you doing?" Good morning, Eddie Knows, and happy Friday. And Ricky Hess says, "Hi, Eddie Knows." Rosa Ray says, "At work we have picture boards and a keyboard with names and or pics. He removed all forms of identity in public. What's with that?" That's weird. Um, do you think it has anything to do with you, or do you think it has to do with whatever his new supply is, or what? Let me know. I would suspect that it might be because he's changing his own identity to match the new supply, but I could be wrong. Yeah. Tommy D says narcs change all the time from terrible to more terrible. Yes. Um, Narga says, "Angie, I read news yesterday. A lovely lady in her 50s went on 2 dates with a guy she met on Match.com. She stopped. He stalked her. She had a restraining order. He killed her on Wednesday. Oh my God. Please be careful." Yeah, that's terrible. I It is very scary. I talked to a client the other day who um, dated somebody for a couple of months, sort of out of pity, and he will not leave her alone. He's stalking the crap out of her. So it's pretty scary. Um, Malta says, "Hi, Shannon, and good to see you." My 2 cents says, no restraining order yet. The cops say he has to do something first. Well, isn't physically abusing you doing something? I'm just curious. Like, how is that not, if he's hitting you, that's doing something, is it not? I mean, what? I don't understand. All right. With dating sites, narcs sitting behind the screen. Yeah, it's so difficult to know for sure with dating sites. Ricky Hess says Tommy D. I agree. They just get worse. Yep. Andrea Christensen says Shannon O'Brien. That is too funny. I may just have to use that one. Sue Cronard is here. Hey girl. Hey, how you doing? She says good morning all. Mary Cahan says that's the thing. My husband had something major happen to him as a kid and never dealt with it. I'm just wondering if there might be a connection to narcissism. Yes. Yes. And if he goes through and he does the therapy and he works through the thing that happened, it's possible that he can change. It's about the way that he dealt with it as a child. It's about the way that, people supported him or didn't. And it's about the way he chose to handle it from there. It's a whole process, but certainly if he can deal with it on a real serious level, I would love to know what happens with this if this works for you, because certainly it definitely has a connection to the narcissism. It's like when people get an eating disorder, it's because they feel like they're out of control of everything, and then they go, well, what can I control? I can control the food that I put in my body, and so they become obsessed with it. It's like people with a cleaning problem, listen to me. It's like people who struggle to keep their, to the OCD with clean or whatever. It's about what they can control because something happened to them usually in the past that they couldn't control. It could be a one-time thing or an ongoing thing. And it's the same deal with narcissism, believe it or not. Often something happened to them that was beyond their control and they just, went the other way. Now, the other possibility is that someone was spoiled rotten and never given any limits. That's another way people become a narcissist. But certainly many narcissists come from a very broken childhood, and that certainly is, if something terrible happened to them, some big tragedy, even a parent dying early, or various types of abuse, neglect, being ignored by their parents, all of these things could cause narcissism. Yeah. Freedom Lee says, thanks, Marvelous Malta. I guess I'll hit Starbucks on my way to work. I do love me some Starbucks, though. I can't lie. Narga says, yes to you, Angie and Malta. Colleen Brosnan says, true, Tommy. The only change a narcissist can make is victims and masks. Yes. Malta says, ooh, more coffee drinkers. I'm loving this today. Yes, indeed. Good morning, Sue Cronner. Shannon O'Brien says, the police said they would administer a dementia test and take him out of the hospital if positive. We haven't heard from the hospital. Not sure if they would call us or not. Well, take a deep breath and, let go and let God and whatnot, Cheryl Lawson says, does the narc seek revenge when you leave him? Sometimes, but watch. It's usually in the form of a smear campaign. Of course, there are those who will stalk and try to cause all kinds of trouble and drama, but the smear campaign is the most common. So I just did a video about this yesterday, Cheryl. Take a look at it if you get a chance. This is how to deal with a narcissist who seeks revenge, I think it's called. Shannon O'Brien says, Malta, good to see you. Lorraine Hibbs says, my spouse has done some very dangerous things when I tried to leave or asked him to leave or asked for a divorce in the past. Tell me what he's done. Ashley Thrasher says, good morning. First time tuning into the live stream. Well, welcome, Ashley. Happy to have you. Welcome to our little tribe. Doreen B says, Nargis, I know. It seems to me that women and girls are dying left and right. It's true. Obviously, there are lots of victims who are also men, but they aren't as often, taken to the level of that. But there are situations where men are also murdered in those cases. Wally says, it sounds like the staff at the mental health team and Clubhouse. Really sound like the staff at a mental health team at Clubhouse. Who does? Me? Eddie Knows says, my daughter's brain is completely under the narc's control and I can't change her mind right now. Well, Eddie, take a deep breath and just love her anyway. From afar, if you have to. Keep staying focused on what's real and what's not. And even though it's painful, understand that as she gets older, she will know and see what's really going on. Keep writing those letters or making those videos or both. And be sure that you don't give up on her entirely, even if it means you have to stand back a little bit. I would just make some small effort every day to connect with her, whether you do it directly through the phone or do it by writing her a letter or something, and I want you to tell her in these letters, I know that are in a situation where you're being misled, but I need you to know that I love you and I've loved you every day of your life, et cetera, et cetera. Keep doing that because she will appreciate it one day. It's very easy for a mother to control the way her children think about the father. And I think it's very unfair for any parent to destroy a relationship with the other parent. And I really feel upset, Eddie, that you're going through this, but I need you to understand that it does and it can get better. And she does need you. And as she gets older, she will become more aware of what her mother is. So stay strong. It's going to get better. Colleen says, "Good morning, Ashley, and welcome." Ricky Hess says, "Good morning, Ashley." Lorian Hibbs says, "He now says he will respect my wishes. I do not trust this at all." She says, "What is his new game?" Yeah, don't trust it. It's a game. It's just trying to get you back in the supply place that he wants you in. It's definitely a game. It's definitely not something you should trust. So, um, if he respects your wishes, great, but that doesn't mean you have to let him back in your bed in your house. You know what I'm saying? More DeLuca says, "You're right. I raised a concern yesterday and it did not go well. I need to learn how to gray rock her. It's something I need to work on." Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Andrea Christensen says, "The other day he opened the back. It. I asked him to shut it in case, oh, I guess you mean the back door. I asked him to shut it because the cat could get out. He raised his voice and told me to stop treating him like a 4-year old. He says he's had enough. Yay." Good. Let him go. Obviously, that's just so common. I'm so sorry. But yeah, maybe he has had enough. Maybe he will really go now. You know what I'm saying? That could be a positive thing, you know. Shannon O'Brien says, "Andrea, the yams thing works on nice people too. Gets a giggle and a good transition to another topic." Nice. Casey Forgets says, "Ha, negative reinforcement." Well, let's go with positive instead. Eddie Knows says, "I know what I have to do to be patient and pray that when she gets a little older, she will see her mother's crazy and empty." She will. I promise you she will. It will happen, and she'll come running and tell you she's so sorry, and you'll say, "You have nothing to be sorry for. I understand where you were, and I'm glad you're okay now. I'm glad you're with me now." That's the best thing you can hope for, really. Nicole Mazza says, "Good morning. Any tips for dealing with a mother who is not a narc but needy on a toxic level? I'm getting extreme guilt trips for saying no to little things." Are you sure she's not a covert narcissist? But if she is not, then you need to let her know. Look, I have a life too outside of you, and I will do whatever I can to help you when I can, but I also have to take care of myself. Period. End of discussion. And just like I said to Rick Mash earlier, when she gives you the extreme guilt trips, you don't respond. You say, "You know what? I gotta go." I tell people, literally, I tell people, "I'm not going to argue with you," and I leave it. I don't. I refuse. I'm not going to let it, destroy my peace. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Susan Bernstein says, "Good morning. I thought today was going to be the day the narcissist pays me back some of the money he owes me so that I can make my escape and start my life again. Of course, he lied." So sorry to hear that, Susan. Um, it is the unfortunate thing about narcissists is that they lie quite often. So keep it in mind. Um, any possibility of it happening anytime in the, like, do you have any control over the money or the bank account at all? Because sometimes you can just kind of take it if you had to. I mean, if he owed it to you, I don't know. That's not a good thing to do. Let me just retract my statement. I think that maybe you should. I'm really sorry that he's not paying you back. I wish I could give you better advice. I just can tell you that I'm sorry, and I know how stressful that is. I guess my point would be I wouldn't count on the narcissist to do anything. It doesn't help, but it's maybe just start working on saving up more money and not telling the narcissist you have it, and then go when you can. Is that a possibility? Nargis says, "Wally, good one. So true. Cross stitching keeps me grounded and away from ruminating thoughts, so less triggers now." Very good. Bonnie says, "Daughter in law gave me a last minute invite to Atlantic City. Narc husband said nothing with me, said nothing to me. I can't imagine being in the car for a weekend with a toxic narc." Yeah, I mean, don't go if it's going to make you uncomfortable, honestly. I mean, I could see wanting to get away from the house, but if she's a narc too, forget about it. You know what I mean? Angela Scavelin says, I found out that my best friend never went no contact with my narc. They are buddies on Facebook. She's been lying to me for 8 months. What? What? Are they talking behind your back? What is Angela? That's terrible. I'm so sorry. I think you know what you need to do is pull back from your friend a little bit. That's outrageous. That's very toxic. Debbie Lee says, I just don't understand why she was posting these things to made to make me jealous, and now she stopped. Is she afraid I might be moving on? Maybe. Yeah. But basically, if they're not giving you the attention that they want, that if you're not giving them the attention they're seeking with their behavior, they'll stop and try something else. So you may have just caused her to stop. You know what I mean? Yeah. Rick Mash says, let the training begin. Thank you, Angie. My pleasure, Rick. Keep me posted. I'm very interested in knowing what happens next. Wally says, will there are possibly narcs come here to learn how to control their victims? I mean, I can't know that for sure, but usually narcissists don't watch things like this. And if they do, I don't think I'm teaching any narcissist how to control anybody. I think I'm teaching narcissists that they will be overcome and that we will not be restrained by them any further. And that's my goal in life here. You know what I mean? I don't know. Eddie Knows says when those monsters gaslight children, it's really damaging because their minds are underdeveloped and can't handle it. That's right. That's right. It's not fair. But I think a lot of us can probably see that in our own childhoods up to a point. Angela Scavelin says this is a great betrayal of our 30-year friendship. She sympathizes with him. She refused to comfort me about him, told me not to talk about him to her. Oh, girl. Yeah, I would be watching that girl. She's obviously not as much of a friend as we had hoped that she would be. Um, I think that's terrible, and I think that's very telling of his level of manipulation and her level of desperation, in my opinion. All right. Jillian says, I don't know if you guys are filing joint tax returns, but if you're filing a separate return, perhaps it's possible to get an advance on the return and leave a narcissist. This is not legal advice. Yep. All right, you guys, I'm about to wrap up because I have so many things, live stream things to do today. Bonnie says, yes, you are the dark slayer, Angie. And yes, they don't do any self-reflection. I love it. Okay, you guys, listen, I'm wrapping up. I'm so sorry. But I will tell you this. I will be back live here. Well, not here on this channel, on the Empath Entrepreneur channel, which you can get to from my my what's it called? My profile here on YouTube. If you click my name, it's in the right-hand column. If you subscribe and hit the bell notification, you'll be notified. It'll be around noon Central Time today. You can also go to the link below and sign up for the the little course that goes with it, because it has, after the training today, I'll be releasing a bunch of free material there. And then also, what else? Oh, those of you who are in the Empath Entrepreneur Mastermind group, I will see you guys in about half an hour, about around 11 o'clock Central Time, for our weekly live session. And then I will be back here on this channel at, I think, 2 p.m. today. Malta, just so heads up for you, my friend. I will be back on this channel, 2 p.m. today with Joe Robb. You guys might remember him. He is the happiness coach. He was in the Life Makeover Summit. He is awesome and has the best energy ever. So definitely show up for that if you have time today around 2 p.m. Central. So 11 a.m. inside of a private group on Facebook for the Empath Entrepreneurs who are in the Mastermind program. Noon on my other channel today, Empath Entrepreneur, and 2 p.m. on this channel today. I'm going to be all kinds of live today, y'all, all kinds of live. So I hope to see you. And I'm so sorry I'm running out of time now, but don't forget, I'll be back Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to see you guys again. And I'll be back 2 p.m. today on this channel, and I'll have videos for you on Saturday and Sunday. I hope you guys have a lovely day. I will see you very soon, I hope. Hugs, love, and everything like that. Thank you for being a part of my day and a part of my life. Thank you for letting me be a part of yours. It really does mean a lot to me. Please make sure that you go right ahead and keep chatting. I will definitely save this chat and read it back later. So if you have video requests, comments, concerns, things you want to talk about, leave them here. All right. Hugs and love, y'all. See you soon.